Today's episode is not one to miss. I have Nick Saponaro, the co-founder of Divi, here today. Divi is one of the easiest wallets to install and use, by the way, as well as so many other components that Divi offers. They also just did a partnership with Liga, which will be bringing all things crypto to some of your favorite football stadiums. Definitely do not miss this episode.
Welcome to the New to Crypto podcast, designed to guide you through the crypto landscape with pinpoint accuracy, created for the new and intermediate crypto investor. Join your host, Crypto Travels Michael, as he takes you through the different facets of getting started and succeeding in your crypto journey. New to Crypto podcast brings you new episodes daily, Monday through Friday, with surprise bonus episodes sometimes on the weekend. Let me ask you, are you new to crypto? Don't know where to start? Are you more experienced but have questions? Then you're in the right place. This podcast is designed for you. Coming at you from the Trading Center in the Lifestyle Design Studio, here's your host, Crypto Travels Michael.
Brave Wallet is the first secure crypto wallet built natively in a Web3 crypto browser. No extension required. You can store, manage, and grow your portfolio, get NFTs and multi-chain support. Download the Brave privacy browser at brave.com/new-to-crypto and click on the wallet icon to get started. I'm excited about this episode today. I'm joined here with a veteran in the crypto industry, the co-founder of a very well-known project in the industry. Nick, it's a pleasure to have you join us today.
Hey, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. Can you tell our listeners just a little bit about yourself before we dive in?
Absolutely. My name is Nick Saponaro. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Divi Labs. We founded the Divi Project back in 2017. I've been in the space for a little bit longer, though. I got in around 2013. I was building some mining rigs for people, although I wasn't super aware of exactly what Bitcoin was. That was my first introduction to the asset class. But it wasn't really until 2015 when a buddy of mine somewhat forcibly got me into Ethereum. And being a web developer at the time, I found a lot more interest actually in Ethereum than I had with Bitcoin because of the capabilities of smart contracts and things of that nature. But I still believed in the tenets that Bitcoin was built upon, this democratized finance system that was borderless and accessible anywhere you were, completely decentralized and without the third party intermediaries. That was very appealing to me as a kind of a rebel kid, still to this day as an adult. So in 2017, I was brought on to Divi as actually a freelance web developer just to build their website. And of course, I had been investing in the space and studying it for a while, so I was able to contribute to the white paper, the original white paper for the Divi project. And after some time working with the team, they were like, hey, do you want to become a co-founder before we launch this thing? Which to me was like a dream come true. And it's led me down a path that I never could have dreamed or imagined. And, I've become a professional in this space and eventually became the CEO of the company, which is where I sit today.
Wow, man. Thanks for sharing that. I actually didn't know that backstory on it. I'm definitely very familiar with Divi Project and Divi Wallet. And thanks for unpacking that. Can you tell us and our listeners in a nutshell, what is the Divi Project and Divi Wallet?
So Divi is essentially built upon a singular philosophy that cryptocurrency should be easy to use and access to everyone everywhere. Now that may sound a little bit broad or generic, but in 2017, most people were focusing on hyper niche singular use cases. They weren't focusing on the user experience around those use cases. And still, even to this day, the user experience could use some improvement, although it has improved a lot throughout the industry. So we felt that if we could make one of the most difficult things easy, which at the time was setting up a masternode, then we could probably make many things for every coin very easy. So in 2018, September of 2018, we deployed what's called the Masternode One-Click Cloud Installer, or Mochi for short. And that allows, still to this day, people to set up and start earning cryptocurrency at the click of a button. It's just as easy as, setting up a Spotify account or a Facebook account, right? We expanded upon that by actually getting that technology patented. It's pending now. and enabling it now from a cell phone. We launched our mobile wallet back in 2020, where now you can actually just, with the swipe of a finger, set up a masternode, a staking node, send and receive a variety of cryptocurrencies. And it's all done within the context of this very easy to use, familiarized interface. So you're not seeing crazy addresses, unless you want to, of course. You're seeing your friend's face. You're seeing a username. You can send to their phone number, their email address, things that people just expect at this point in their mobile application experience. We're bringing to cryptocurrencies, and we're delivering it to a worldwide audience.
Wow. Wow, man. I especially like how easy you've made it for people that are especially new to crypto, because after all, this show is called New to Crypto, and we have a lot of listeners around the world that are actually new. And, let's expand a little bit more about the Divi wallet and just share with our listeners a little bit more about how simple your wallet is to use. The links are on our website, so they can go over there and install and use your wallet. But how is your wallet different than, say, other wallets? And specifically, why is your wallet so easy for someone that's new to use?
It's been a difficult sort of challenge to make something that is both self-custodial, fully decentralized, and also easy. And it's important to us that we don't sacrifice the capability of the user to own their funds for convenience, because we've done that too much in the past, right? With social media, we sacrificed our privacy for the convenience of connection. I don't intend to continue that trend with finance, the sort of final frontier of digital ownership. So we took a very, very methodical approach to building our wallet. Right from the time that you download the wallet and onboard, you're feeling as if you are just onboarding to a traditional app. We take the user through the traditional steps of, setting up your username, setting up your account profile picture and things like that. If you so choose, you can actually continue to use it anonymously if you choose, but most people do choose to set it up this way with their phone numbers and things like that. Once you are onboarded, then we guide you through what is a seed phrase? How do you back that up? What's the importance of these things? We find that if you just bombard the user with all of this jargon and crazy things that they've never seen before, you lose a lot of the users. Each step in the process of onboarding, and this is true of any vertical or any industry, each step that causes friction for the user loses more and more subsets of users. And that's why it's taken so long to even get a modicum of mainstream adoption in crypto. So that's one of the biggest differentiators, is actually just the onboarding steps. Once you're in the wallet, you can see that it's easy to send and receive your funds to your friends. Shortly here in this quarter, you'll be able to actually purchase a variety of cryptocurrencies with a credit card or a wire transfer or an ACH transfer, as well as swap your cryptos, play with DeFi, among other things that are on our short-term roadmap. So you're feeling as if you're just using a finance app that you've used before, but it's actually a decentralized mobile wallet.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that with our audience. Nick, you're a leader in the industry. For some of our listeners that may not know that, Nick is one of the OGs, if you will. He has a defined footprint in the industry. And let's just change gears just for a moment. We're going to come back to Divi, but let's talk about for a moment about the future of crypto and the goals of decentralization. Like, what are your thoughts around this?
Right now, there's a big sort of divergence, right? There's two counterparties, if you will, in this space. There's the sort of fundamentalists, the diehards that still believe that decentralization is the answer, that if we turn around and create basically a refreshed version of what already exists in the banking system, then we haven't actually innovated or done anything. And then you have the other side, which is the essentially custodial services that act and operate much like banks. Now, what I will say is, while I am on the side of decentralization, and I do believe that self-custody is the answer, I do see why both things will continue to exist and may need to continue to exist. Large enterprises and even small businesses may or may not want to custodialize their own funds. They may want to put that trust in someone else's hands, which is fine. You should have that opportunity, but we shouldn't just build with that in mind, in my opinion. I think that we will see, decentralized products continue to thrive. We're seeing decentralized exchanges now getting, it's at times more volume than even the biggest centralized exchanges. As people start to learn more about the industry, they get further down the rabbit hole, and traders and users alike want to take control of their own finances in one way or the other. DEXs are also at times more convenient. The interoperability that they offer across chains and things like that, as well as the anonymity, are really attractive, especially as the regulations start to pour into the space. And we're seeing a lot of crackdowns on Binance and some of the other large exchanges where, they're even getting banned from countries, from operating in those countries. That's an impact on users, an impact that users don't want to see. So they're going to go to the services that are most convenient and most usable.
Definitely agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. What would you like to see in the future of crypto in general? Like adoption, anything on the tech side? Where do you see things moving towards?
Yeah, adoption is, of course, the goal, I think, of a majority of the industry. And I think we're starting to see it. It's interesting, actually, how these different sort of niches that pop up in the space sort of bring more and more people from different walks of life into the industry. I'm not a huge meme coin fan. I think it's kind of a joke. They really are. But they brought a ton of newcomers into the space. And while a lot of people did lose money on a lot of them, it did open some people's eyes to the prospect of what cryptocurrency can be. Same with NFTs. There's a lot of absurdity in NFTs. Let's not sugarcoat it, but there's a lot of potential there. And I think while people are having fun with the absurdity, they're also learning about the potential of that technology and where it can go in the future. And that's creating lifelong users of cryptocurrency. So I think, adoption is 100% where I'd like to see, but it's still going to take some time.
I agree. And also I agree with the NFT, onboarding of new people, meme coins, even the metaverse, even esports, even my nephew, for example, he's a gamer and now he's going to move over into, esports on the crypto side. So we're actually seeing the adoption. I agree with you of here in the industry.
Yeah. We're also seeing it in traditional sports, right? These huge partnerships among a variety of different projects. And that kind of exposure is pretty unparalleled. There's very few things in this world that people adhere to or associate themselves with closer to than sports.
I couldn't agree more. That brings me into my next question. Nick, I'm a huge football or soccer fan, depending on where the listener is listening from, and especially La Liga. And I read about your La Liga, sponsorship partnership recently. Can you share a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Yeah, this was a big deal for Divi. Divi is kind of an underdog. We've been an underdog in the industry, and we've continued to fight through, crypto winter and back when Ethereum was super broken back during the ICO era and all of the other challenges that we've faced. And we're up against a lot of major competitors now. The space has grown to, I think 1.8 trillion as of this morning, overall market cap. So we're competing against the crypto.coms and the FTXs of the world, whether we consider them to be direct competitors or not. So when we met with La Liga in Spain, we actually met them in Dubai at a conference. When we met with them, I was skeptical that we could actually close on a partnership this large. La Liga has a viewership of something like 2.7 billion worldwide. And I said to my CMO, actually, I was like, look, I would love to close this partnership. I think it could be huge. It could be very impactful for our business, but I don't see how we win it against these behemoths. And she's just like, you just gotta just trust me. I've done this before. I think we can do it. They really liked us. We went with them for breakfast and things like that. And we put together this pitch deck and we pitched it and we gave it our all. And next thing I knew, I'm flying to Spain and I'm signing the contract. And it was a big moment for us because, now we have the opportunity to put our product in front of so many literal billions of people over the course of 3.5 years. And it's very validating, I think, that a company or an organization like La Liga, which is the largest soccer league in the world, at least by reach, would say, yeah, we want to work with you, Divi, instead of XYZ, exchange or project. It was a big deal.
Absolutely. Hey, congratulations on that to you and your entire team, man. That's phenomenal. And it's also another huge win for the industry. What does the sponsorship or the partnership look like in terms of, are you guys is your sponsorship going to be, in outside of the stadium, inside, like during games? How does that look?
Yeah, great question. Really, it's truly a partnership. They wanted somebody, an organization that they could activate with. So yes, we will have, our logo around the pitch during games, and next to the goal, and TV ads and things of that nature. We're starting to see that already. Some of their Twitter posts and stuff include Divi Wallet and whatnot, which is cool. It's really cool to see that. But I think the real impact comes from the activations. So we get to go to El Clasico and actually work with players in the league and players that have retired from the league to do things with the fans that actually introduce them to cryptocurrency, introduce them to the Divi Wallet in person, right? So whether that means buying a beer at the stadium with the Divi Wallet, or getting an NFT airdrop to their Divi Wallet, or even, booking a hotel, things like that are all possible alongside, actually playing with their favorite players and doing the fun stuff that you expect to see at big events. I think that honestly is where the true impact comes from, because they'll be seeing the logo over and over again. And then it's like, oh, what? They're giving me something. I get to actually use this thing. It makes it real tangible in their hands.
Absolutely. Oh man. And now you're inspiring me to fly to Spain in the future here and be at some of the games,
You should.
Absolutely. Let's circle back to Divi, since you touched on the uses of of payment in the wallet and even what you're going to do at the games. On your site, it says digital money for mass use, and I love that. And I wanted to break down, some of the different components of it, like user-friendly smart wallet, the 5-layered. You touched on the master node system, but if we could unpack what lottery blocks are, crypto banking, things like that, vaulting, that would be phenomenal.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the most interesting things that you touched on is the lottery blocks. I think this is kind of a novel feature. I don't see it very often in the space. I think we may be the only blockchain that actually has this integrated at the core level. So basically, once a week, 11 people have the opportunity to win what we call a lottery block. It's basically a super block that distributes a large chunk of Divi to 11 lucky stakers. So if you're staking with our wallet and you win a staking reward, then you automatically have what we call like a lottery ticket. It's just nomenclature. It's really interesting because as long as you're actually staking more than 10,000 Divi, you can even win the large prize. So one person wins 252,000 Divi, which is worth, I think, like 30 grand right now. And then 10 people win 25,000 Divi, which is still a pretty solid sum of money. We just had, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, somebody was staking 18,000 Divi for just a couple of weeks, won the big lottery. So they went from roughly a $2,000 investment to winning almost $30,000 in a couple of weeks.
Wow.
And that's the kind of like life-changing, I mean, I don't know if it changes your life, but definitely makes it easier, opportunities that we've always tried to provide people. And we've done this in a responsible way where, the inflation mechanism doesn't impact the market in a negative way. And people seem to really, really enjoy that.
Absolutely. Where did the idea come up from, to do the lottery blocks? I think it's awesome. And you're the only one I've seen that has offered that.
We really wanted to enable scarcity in the initial phases of our development cycle. We knew when we first started Divi that, we didn't raise $50 million in our ICO or anything. We raised like 2. So we were starting more like a regular traditional tech company. We knew that we would have to encourage scarcity in order to avoid, like I said, that negative impact on the market, get the products that we needed to get out there so that token velocity and things like that, actual use cases could be built for long enough. And that's exactly what we've done. So, of course, the master nodes encourage scarcity. Staking does as well. And we have over, I think, 80% of our ecosystem allocated to both of those things. And then, of course, the lottery blocks keep users engaged and staking their coins and hoping for those. And you should see, I mean, if you join our community, you'll see people like getting super excited every week for those lottery blocks.
Absolutely. I'm actually already in your community. I'm in your Telegram. And I got to tell you, I love the amount of information and the way that you guys share it. Like even in Telegram, even when someone first signs up, like all of the different links, and it's all very clear and, illustrated, and it just makes it really easy to be introduced, to your project and what you guys are doing. You guys have really put a lot of time and effort into even the structure of how information is accessible.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, it goes back to the philosophy of user experience, right? User experience doesn't mean a pretty UI. It's the full consumer experience that the user is engaged with, which is why we have 24-hour support. And it's why we're so transparent as a team. And we do, monthly video updates and Twitter spaces and things like that. We want people to feel like in this space that can often be ridden with, let's just say, shady business practices, that people feel they can trust us, can rely on us. And as we make decisions for the ecosystem, they typically will agree with us. Now, of course, we bring everything to the community before we move forward, and it's, operates like a DAO. But we found that most people just say, hey, we trust you. And that's hard to build as a company, especially in this space.
Brave Wallet is the first secure crypto wallet built natively in a Web3 crypto browser. What's Web3? Web3 is freedom from big tech and Wall Street. More control and better privacy. But there's a weak point in Web3. Your crypto wallet. Most wallets are browser extensions, a Web2 technology. That means the same old risks. App spoofing, phishing scams, and theft. Brave Wallet is different. Brave Wallet is the first secure wallet built natively in a Web3 crypto browser. No extension required. With Brave Wallet, you can buy, store, send, and swap assets, manage NFTs, even connect other wallets and dApps, all from the security of the best privacy browser on the market. Whether you're new to crypto or a seasoned pro, it's time to ditch those risky extensions. It's time to switch to Brave Wallet. Download Brave at brave.com/new to crypto and click on the wallet icon to get started. Absolutely. Well, you guys are doing an amazing job. Let's move into the crypto banking component of the Divi. Let's touch on that for a moment.
Yeah, we really wanted to create a consolidated finance ecosystem that removes a lot of the friction from both the traditional finance world and the crypto finance world. Consolidating the value chain, I always say. If you look at something like Tesla, right? Tesla's a ridiculously successful company because they took the value chain of the automotive industry and consolidated it under one roof. Now, this was incredibly capital intensive for them initially. However, long term, we start to see that they're outperforming Ford and GM and the big auto manufacturers that have been around for 100 years or whatever. We kind of wanted to take the same approach to finance. If we can pull all these things together, like exchange and send and receive and earning and all of your favorite coins and integrate it into one very, very familiarized package, there's a big opportunity there. The finance ecosystem of the world is worth trillions and trillions of dollars. So if you can capture a piece of that, you can have a very successful organization. And that's kind of been our philosophy from the jump.
Awesome. Great vision in identifying, the opportunity and the need on that. That's so let's unpack the vaulting component part of it. What exactly, some of our listeners, Divi in general is new for them. And so we're going down the list here of the different aspects. And so what is your vaulting component here?
Vaults are a pretty also novel solution, again, that I haven't seen before. Now, there's a lot of coins that offer staking, obviously. That's nothing new. However, in the typical sense, staking requires either a dedicated machine that is online 24/7 and has the adequate hardware to operate the staking node, or in the case of most new coins, it's delegated proof of stake, right? So what this means is that you're basically committing your funds to a certain pool, so to speak, and allowing that pool, who does have the necessary hardware to add blocks to the chain, to stake on your behalf. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it isn't a fully decentralized solution. It does essentially centralize the production of nodes to, like in the case of, say, BSC, 21 nodes, most of which are owned by Binance. So what we wanted to do was create a system that could be A, used from your cell phone, and B, retained the decentralized nature of staking without any sacrifices. So we developed what are called staking vaults. Basically, all we did was, I say this matter of factly, but it was actually kind of difficult, was we created a proprietary third key. So you can actually broadcast your staking transactions through a secondary node while retaining all of the control and ownership of your key and your coins in your mobile wallet. It doesn't require actual hardware. It doesn't require your phone to run. You can actually set up a staking vault and turn your phone off and put it in a drawer. And that was the goal. And it works really well. And it's actually become more popular than the master nodes over the past couple of months.
Wow. Wow, man, that thing is awesome. Thanks for breaking down the vaulting. You guys are on the forefront, or I would say, of vision and really identifying solutions that are needed, and then making it easy to use. Because in crypto, as if you're not a technical techie person, it's not exactly the easiest industry to navigate. And so awesome for what you're doing there. What's the atomic swaps? First of all, for our listeners that are new, what is an atomic swap? And what is the atomic swaps and exchange, part of what Divi has going?
Atomic swaps are a mechanism for a peer-to-peer trade, essentially. So if I want to trade you Dash, for example, for Divi, right now you would have to go on a centralized exchange, trade your Dash for Bitcoin or USDT, and then buy Divi, incurring slippage and central party risk, all of the things that make centralized exchanges lame, as well as, a lot of friction and know-how to just get from point A to point B. Atomic swaps are a decentralized mechanism that allow you to basically say, hey, I'm willing to sell this much Dash for this much Divi, and then a secondary counterparty can come in and take that trade. It's kind of a older mechanism, but it's the most decentralized way to swap between what are called UTXO blockchains, which is how like Bitcoin operates. It's how Dash, of course, operates. And many of the layer ones from the early days, we'll say, of the 2017, 2016 era. Of course, Bitcoin is the first one from back in 2009, but it's something cool. And it's something that is actually enabled in our blockchain right now. And you'll start to see that coming out in our wallet this quarter.
Awesome. So another bullet point you have listed under digital money for mass use is multi-coin system. Is that essentially that, people are probably thinking they can hold different cryptocurrencies in your wallet? Is that the multi-coin system, or is there more to it? Where are we at on that?
Yeah, I mean, right now you can hold Divi, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum in the Divi Wallet. This quarter is big for Divi. So we'll actually enable the storage and swap between 270 additional assets.
Wow.
Plus it's a big deal. A lot of them are ERC
270 new additional assets that are coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. And with swaps. So it's in my opinion, the industry is moving more toward interoperability. We've decided as a market that, there's not going to be one coin to rule them all. People want to utilize and speculate on a variety of assets, and that's good. That's exactly how markets need to work, to be open and free. So, we want to support that, and we want people to be able to do that in an easy and safe way. So, we'll have those 270 assets plus ERC20 support, so you can add any meme coin you want to the wallet. And we'll just keep expanding upon that range of assets as we move forward.
Wow, man, that's exciting. I'm going to have you back on the show once you guys roll out some more things in your roadmap. Maybe we'll do a video on YouTube.
Sure. That'd be sweet.
Do a walkthrough or something like that,
Yeah, for sure. Just let me know.
What is your roadmap going forward? Yeah, you mentioned the 280 additional assets that'll be able to be in the wallet, but going forward, what does the roadmap look like, for this year and beyond at Divi?
So, I mentioned interoperability, and that's going to become a big deal for us as an ecosystem. I truly believe that if by the end of this year, the blockchains that you're leveraging are not interoperable to at least some extent, they won't exist beyond, the next couple of years. It's just the reality. It's just the way the industry is going. You have the EVM standard, which is the Ethereum virtual machine. MetaMask enables a variety of blockchains to just quickly operate within its wallet using the EVM RPCs. That's a level of interoperability on its own. And now you have all of these different bridges between the assets. And of course, those technologies are improving. We've seen recently the Solana wormhole bridge kind of suffer from some hacks, but these things improve over time. So this year we'll be deploying a bridge to Ethereum, BSC, Kronos, which is Crypto.com's new chain, and a variety of others, so that people can really use Divi everywhere and engage with DeFi and NFTs and things like that they want to play with. We want to make sure that while we continue to improve upon the L1, that everyone can use Divi in whichever way they see fit, anywhere they see fit.
Awesome. Awesome. Nick, you just mentioned interoperability. And for some of our listeners, they may not exactly know what that means. And I can't think of anyone better to explain it than you. Could you unpack that for them?
Yeah, so most cryptocurrencies back when I started in this industry were what we call now layer ones. So it's just a singular blockchain that operates within a silo. A lot of blockchains still operate this way. Interoperability enables these blockchains to communicate across chain and actually bridge between each other, in some cases even wrapping their layer one asset on another chain. So you may have seen wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped Ethereum on a variety of different chains. You also see USDT and USDC on pretty much every blockchain now, right? That's interoperability in practice, allowing the user to engage with the asset on whichever blockchain they want or need to at that time. You know, there may be a really exciting project on the Binance Smart Chain that I want to engage with. So I have USDC on BSC, but I also do stuff on Ethereum. I may want to buy some NFTs. So I have ETH or USDC on Ethereum. And at any given time, I can cross these bridges, which are just smart contracts, just interfaces for the user to, I'll say, jump, for lack of a better term, between these various blockchains. It's really something that we've talked about for a long time in this space. And now seeing it come to fruition is freaking awesome. And it's real and it's here. And I think, like I said, it's something that everyone needs to get behind.
Absolutely. I know our listeners are totally thanking you, Nick, and they'll be able to reach out to you online on social media. All the links are on the episode blog post page for today. And man, thanks for breaking that down. In closing, is there anything else you want to share with the audience? And
well, you know, I would love to see the audience come and ask questions in our Telegram, just at Divi Project. We have a very welcoming community. We have a lot of newbies to the space come to Divi, sometimes as their first asset ever, because it's so, you know, user-friendly and accessible. So, you know, we'd love to see you and talk about Divi and answer any questions that you might have, whether it be about Divi or the space at large. We have people that just love talking about this stuff all day long, including myself.
Awesome. And that link, by the way, is on today's blog post page for this episode. And I'll also spend some more time hanging out in your Telegram as well, because I'm a really big fan of what you guys have going on. Nick, man, thanks for coming out. Thanks for spending some time and chiming in here with us. And I look forward to doing, a video. We'll do it on YouTube, and we'll break down and unpack some more awesome content, man.
It's been my pleasure, Michael. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. If you like today's episode, definitely like and subscribe to the podcast, show your support, and chime in here tomorrow for another special episode. Until then, make it a great day.
Thanks for tuning in to New to Crypto Podcast. If you like the episode, be sure to follow and subscribe. You can listen to every episode on all major platforms. Have an interest in being on the show or want advertising? Reach out at newtocrypto.io. Head over to our site, newtocrypto.io, to access the resources mentioned in each episode. Until next time, remember to navigate the crypto landscape with pinpoint accuracy.